Hello, I'm Jacob Lintner, and today will be the first video on my YouTube channel. And my plan for this YouTube channel is to cover sports and sports analytics, all of the things I'm very fascinated with in the sports world. And we can start out by I'll introduce myself, explain my background in sports, and then kind of go from there. So I have been a sports fan my whole life. When other kids were watching regular shows, I was watching SportsCenter, and somehow stats would just stick in my head. So I have this built-up idea of stats from my youth when I would turn on the TV in the morning before school and watch the top 10 plays on SportsCenter and be caught up in all of it. So I've had a very long sports background. I've always been fascinated with it. Honestly, all sports. I would say I played baseball growing up my whole life very competitively. Played against some interesting people such as the Mannings, Archie Manning, current number one recruit. I played against him in the 8U Little League World Series. So it was definitely an interesting one with Archie in the stands, Hall of Famer. So I was very involved in baseball my whole life and was an MLB enthusiast. All Pittsburgh teams, as my family's from Pittsburgh. So Pirates fan always, Steelers as you can see there. Pitt as well, even though I do attend FSU, Florida State University. But so I played baseball, was a Pirates fan my whole life, Steelers as well. Got to watch a couple Super Bowls. Very fun. Obviously, I was very young. Very, very young. I only have some faint memories of the Super Bowls, but hopefully we can renew that at some point. So was very involved in MLB, kind of tapered off on that, have kind of narrowed down more to NFL, college football, which I do pull for Florida State, obviously, since I'm a student, but not in the loyalty you would think. My grandpa played college baseball here at Florida State, so that's also a cool tie. I root for Pitt as well, especially now that the Steelers have Kenny Pickett. So that's kind of my background with growing up through sports, and I've become more involved in NBA as I've gotten older. And I didn't really follow basketball as much younger. Obviously, I have the basic knowledge, but I've really, become a fan. And I never had a team since Pittsburgh doesn't have an NBA team. So my loyalty has gone to the Orlando Magic, which could be a mistake. But I think it was about a year ago, I had a major surgery in Orlando, and I always would play with Orlando, and they were always a cool underdog story. And I am a Florida resident, so it makes somewhat sense. So I'm a Magic fan now, and now that they have Paolo and everything, there's a bright future there, hopefully. Not exactly sold on it, but there is a bright future potentially. So Pittsburgh Sports, I don't really, through my media and my Twitter, I don't really show a ton of fandom. I try not to, at least. I'm going for the non-biased form of sports media, which I believe is probably the best. I don't want to be just zoned off to Pittsburgh sports. Sometimes that can be brutal, especially since we haven't won a playoff game in a bit. So really want to just be pretty neutral when it comes to that. Obviously, I love my teams when there's closed doors, but in general, I will be very, very neutral and just report as it happens. Some interesting background information on myself. I was committed Division I for cross country and track. Had to medically decommit because of a major health issue that I still currently deal with. I have a form of chronic illness called median arcuate ligament syndrome. Affects blood flow, circulation. I've had a major surgery done, and it's a very long process. That's a big fact about me. Running's been my life for a long time, as it was my father's, and I've been forced to kind of give that up, and that's moved me a bit more into the sports analytics side because I've had more time, and it's really brought me back to what I did in my younger days, which was really watch a lot of sports and really get into it. So it's a redirection, but I like where I am now too. I plan with this channel to really go into analytics and kind of just big topics, like big trade comes out, post about it, talk about it. I like that kind of deal. It's really cool to see how stuff ages as well, and what kind of takes are good and bad as you look back a year later. So, I mean, just big events. I love mock drafts. I love prospects. I love picking like guys that I just really root for, and hoping they pan out. I had some guys last year. Last year was one of my first years really diving into that draft class, and I had some guys that I was super super excited to see. Garrett Wilson was one of them. Just you knew he was going to be good. Like, he's just such a beast in college. It just translated so well. So guys like that, and I'm excited. I've done a lot of research on this year's draft class, and I would like to make a lot of videos on mock drafts and fits for teams and potential trade ups, all that sort of thing. So that is sort of the plan for the channel. Just some frequent kind of videos. Hopefully can just give good commentary and, express ideas, see what other people have to think, and really just dialogue about sports. That's one of my favorite things to do. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'm excited to see where this channel will go. Thank you.